favor. This is today's date is March the 10th, 2012, but I have a previous recording. I don't know which one it is, but the 6th precinct has it. Possibly some other authority figures in the city of Detroit have it, from city council to mayor, chief of police, 6th precinct, my local district, police precinct. The governor may have it. I doubt it. But he has some information along with the attorney general. But one day, on one of the many illegal petitions put on me by whoever it may be, the first one was illegal with alternative motive, which a sworn governmental employee, which was Officer Matthew of the 6th precinct, put on me illegally, alternative motives for the private society as public news, to discredit me and take $6,000 worth of guns and ammunition from me. And if they say it wasn't $6,000, who cares what the dollar amount was? I was illegally took out my house, handcuffed, put in the back of a police car, took to a receiving hospital, where I was sent to a mental facility thereafter that, after their illegal, fraudulent evaluation of me. How can someone make an evaluation? They just met me for 2 minutes and taken a word of a crooked, dirty police officer of the city of Detroit from the Dirty Six, the 6th precinct that we call the Dirty Six since I've been in middle school, since I can remember, for middle school. Now, fraudulent police report to discredit me by suing the union, employees, neighbors, my ex-employer, etc. Discredit me after they blackballed me. Now, when I get to the mental facility, they already knew who I was. They talking about me. And I ain't even told them my name yet besides what's on paperwork. So everybody was waiting on me to get there so they can practice their black magic and put things in my food. So it all could be proven. Just like they're using black magic, I've been trying to get the local government, my state government, my county government, and the federal government to get a psychic tool. If someone says they don't believe it, my 00 Boolean paper, Sumerian King paper, Necronomy paper proves it. I'm a witness to it. I was there when it was done to someone way back in the days in the 90s, the same group of people who I've seen that was involved in it, doing the same techniques what they were doing to me across the street by shining dim lights at the house and wiping things on people's house. People around people's houses at night, putting their little curse marks on the houses and stuff. I was a witness to it. I heard the people who they were doing it to, who I was family, who I was friends with. And the family that's on participation in this, they don't even know that this same thing was done to people who we all know. And that's the sad part. And after I put the paper on the street, the 0961, hopefully the person realized what I was saying. But again, on another occasion where the police came to get me illegally because someone put a petition on me, it doesn't matter. It was my mother, my father, the police. The police was the origin of it. And the origin beyond that was Bridgewater, illegal activities, denial of their obligations as a citizen and as an authority figure. And they took advantage of my family because they know we are dysfunctional. They took advantage of their mental deficiencies and used it for their own alternative motive, evil, unholy, unconstitutional cause. Now, I say the same thing in all the recordings on papers, but this is what I'm going to put real short. Because I'm not going to look through all the recordings like I know people don't want to listen to all the recordings, but it's my proof. If a police officer, one time when the police officers came to my house in a paddy wagon, which was a van, with two or three other unmarked Crown Vics police cruisers with no lights, no symbols, nothing, just black, blue, whatever, it was dark when they came and took me. They took shotgun shells off of me. They took me, put me back in the paddy wagon, handcuffed me, put me back in the paddy wagon, and as they pulled off, someone knocked on the van. And said, hey, talking to them. And it was like, yeah, I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I heard the person talking to the officers. And they told them to take me around the block, take them on Fullerton, take them around the block so they can kill them. And the police officers didn't do nothing. So that's more proof that they are involved in it, because a police officer and a citizen having a conversation, and a citizen says something to a police officer, take him around the block, take him around on Fullerton so we can kill him, and they don't arrest him, well, why are they arresting me? Because the officer said on the phone to the police report, I came outside running, talking about pulling my shirt, I got 2 guns on me. That's not true. The whole police report is false. The only thing that's true in the police report, when I told him, get both my neighbors, come over here, have both my neighbors come over here so we can settle this situation, this issue right now. I didn't go outside. And if I was irate, what about Judge Judy? She's a judge, an honorable judge. She act irate. All these girl fight clubs that we pay, that we watch on TV, they fighting, acting ignorant, and they getting paid to do it. They get some kind of promotion or some kind of money for being on the girls club, bad girl club, and they fighting and cussing, acting on crazy and stuff. Can I put a petition on them? Can I put a petition on Judge Judy? And what about the pine shop on 8 Mile Road in Greenfield? The pine shop. They fussing and cussing at their parents, sisters, brothers. They all fussing and cussing. Can I put a PPO on them? But they get paid. They get money. They on TV. Can I put a PPO on my own city council where they be fussing and arguing with each other, talking about strack, but homegirl locked up? So how many people I could put petitions on? Hey, can I put a petition on Eminem? He making millions talking about his own mama. Made a song about it, made a movie about hating his mama. You know what said on in the records and in the movies probably was worse than what happened. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But can I put a PPO on Eminem? Once again, he's getting paid. All these people getting paid, getting money. So the officer gonna say, oh, he was acting irate and crazy. Tell Mr. Officer Matthews that he needed to put a PPO on all these people. All these people who I just named. Fraudulent, illegal, documentation that's legal, which is falsified, false pretenses, illegal, documentation, fraudulent, mockery of sworn duties, and protection of my contract. It's slander, libel, defamation, and whatever else word, description, label you want to put on it. Now, this is my government for alternative motives. Because the people who's telling them something is telling them something in their own favoritism way, for favoritism, and to help them in their situation. But the most important thing is that they supposed to report it a crime instead of making a mockery of it. That's the most important thing. And they didn't do that. They have any point in time they can be a witness to that. But after making mockery comments and aiding and abetting the person who committed the felony crime to myself, to I, Clyde Darnell Lynch, covered up, whitewashed, So their company, who they work for, won't get sued. Ooh, we're gonna help the company. And management come out there and say, we all family. We have to stick together. All of the company meetings. And then the union, with their legal contract says, the UAW says, we here to help fight you against the company for doing wrong. We here, you pay us union dues and we'll take care of you. We do this for you. But then when you want to make a complaint, and the union members talking about it, laughing about it themselves, and you hear them, and they say we don't have sufficient evidence, that's perjury. That's obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting. And whatever else labels and descriptions in Michigan constitutional criminal charges and codes that goes with the description and label. I'm only talking common sense. And if you watch me do alleged crimes, and you just say we got evidence, we know what he did, even if you use psychic abilities, which is supernatural abilities, but we don't look at it as supernatural abilities, but psychics that we see on the Oprah show and similar shows like that, and documentary shows about psychics. But we don't look at that as supernatural, but it's supernatural abilities. So how we can look at one thing as nothing at all, look at another thing as we go to church is the supernatural, but we talk about Satan in our church, but we don't look at it as witchcraft, wizardry. Even the president Reagan had a medium or something. Just consulted his psychic advisor. The old kings back in the days had wizards on their side that helped them, advised them. So it's part of our history, part of our ancient documented history of priests. Ancient Egypt had a priest, a sorcerer. So all through our knowledge, a ruler, king, dictator, president has a psychic advisor by their side. No matter what name they use, some do, majority don't. I mean, some don't, and the majority do. And they got going to put the words out, superstition and superstitious, to cover up their wickedness. The people who do wicked things that violate people's human rights, real property, personal property, and privacy. That's all I'm going to say. So when the police officer in the paddy wagon from the 6th precinct in the police van came to pick me up and let a neighbor citizen walk up to the van, knock on the van, and stop them from their forward motion of illegally kidnapping, detaining, and taking me away, because the 6th precinct already knew about the hookup Mr. Matthews and everybody had plans, because the people at the mental facility, most of them, Ferndale, Kingswood, and Warren, Michigan, Behavioral Center of Michigan, BCOM, was already on my block. I seen them on my block 2 weeks before the big 6th precinct caper of violating my liberties and taking my real and personal property that was legal, which is my freedom and my guns, my weapons, and putting a mental lien on me, which is worldwide. That's slander, libel, defamation, mockery, and what else you could say? And legal aid say they can't help me, pro bono can't help me, the attorney general can't help me, the governor can't help me, the mayor can't help me, city council can't help me, a ombudsman office can't help me, legal aid can't help me. Oh, I already said legal aid. Chief of police can't help me. Everybody just sitting on their rump, because they already know. They don't want to get a financial lien from the Moorish people, probably, or they already had dealings with the witchcraft people, because I already know by L. Brooks Patterson. He sent me my information back the next day when I emailed it to him. Because I had a situation in Troy, Michigan. And I already know L. Brooks Patterson know about what's going down, and some of the people in the city of Detroit. Ken Worthy know. Ken Worthy know about the liens. L. Brooks Patterson know about the witchcraft, the magic, and the liens. Because these same people that's different from these people that's doing illegal activity told me these things. And not just me, whoever was there. And whoever stole my recordings off my computer knows it, but they wasn't paying attention until I said some of my paper. You better listen to everything carefully. It's a message in my paper. It's a message in my audio recording. I gave you an answer and I questioned it. And whatever answers you have, I answered it too. So a question and an answer, a question and an answer. I didn't say that right, but whatever questions you have, I probably already answered in another recording or another paper that some people may not have received yet. I answered every question, et cetera, et cetera. And if I have it happen, just ask. I mean, when you ask, that means you put yourself in a position to be liable to aid and assist. Even if you have the information, it's on you forever to hold your peace or report a crime. Assist. But whatever you do on your part is what you do. If nobody bring your name up, you good, you safe, you cool. But forever hold your peace and make a crime, or report a crime. That's everyone's obligations as a citizen of the United States, whatever they want to call it, the Republic, U.S. territories, whatever they want to call it, America, United States. Even people that comes over here to become a citizen, that's something unique. That's like the police officers and attorneys. It isn't unique. They have to swear to uphold the rules and laws. But the people that was born on this soil, it's automatic. Then when you go register, they say go register to vote, you sign your powers away. Once again. Because when your parents sign the birth certificate, you property of the state that you was born in. And the city and the county. And then when the person turn 18, they go register to vote. I know people who ain't registered to vote still get loans. So what's the deception and deceit in that right there? I email some people some information I already know, but I just got to take the word for it. And even when they ask me where I got the information from, all I can do is say, well, hey, that's where I heard it from here and there. I'm just going to take their word for it till I find something else out. That's all I can do. I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to repeat what I said, mimic, and say that's where I heard it from. And all the recordings that I have, I don't listen to them again. I ship them out, make them and ship them out. Some never been listened to, never been shipped out to people, just sitting on a disc for posterity, I guess, but I'm about to go. But the main issue with this recording was that the police officer let a citizen that lived on my block walk up to the van, knock on it, stop them from their forward motion of illegally kidnapping me. They taking me somewhere where I'll be forced to take medication that I do not need. And a neighborly citizen, which is a neighbor live on my block, stopped them and told them, hey, take them around the block so we can kill them. Take them on Fullerton so we can kill them. Then the officer gonna knock on the back of the wall and say, hey. He said something, are you okay? Or whatever. I didn't say not a word. Because the situation was sticky. If I would have said something, would they really would have took me around the corner? And like I said, the trip there was very awkward. Like they were taking me to the Outcast Motorcycle Club. And this is what I'm going to say. I seen one of the police cars turn down the block following me, which is not a police officer, I believe, which is just a regular citizen with a police car that lives in the neighborhood, who I seen at two different houses. So that's why how deep this corruption is. I need some help. Everybody get all the militias together, review my paperwork. This is what everybody trained for. This is what everybody work for. We study the Constitution in and out. We do military exercises. This is the time to do this. This is what everybody been training for. All the cities and states in the whole United States of America having money issues. everybody signed that paper to get concessions and everything, and the government owes every city and state money, county. But they say we don't have no money to pay for it. But they made a contract and they breached it. But the city governmental authorities are sitting on their room fussing and fighting about it. There's nothing to fight about. It's in plain and clear English. We do this, you do that, and you fail to give up the money over a period of time and nobody checked them about it until now. It was a plan from the get-go. Oakland County, if I'm not mistaken, was the richest county in the state of Michigan, and they broke too. You remember that movie RoboCop? OCP took over, and they did the same thing in the RoboCop movie when OCP was taking over. I don't remember which one it was. It was the second one, the third one. It was the one where he had the wings. They had the little prototype wings where he could fly. And they took out all the police officers. Oh, we don't have the money, the funding to do this and that. This is exactly what they're doing. And the mayor of Detroit want to move everybody on one side of the city. They didn't find oil up on one part of their area, but they're trying to move everybody to one side. They just want to demolish it and build the skyscrapers for the city. I said this a long time ago. Sitting at the palace, I said these same exact words. It's all a plan. They got the new money printed out, ready to be distributed, but they waiting for the right moment. It could be stopped cold, dead in its tracks, on my complaints alone of breach of contract for the good of everybody, I believe. But if I'm wrong, it's just me. But that one spark can start a fire of goodness. I'm not trying to fascinate and charm nobody for my own selfish cause. That's not me. It's going to work for everybody who's not ignorant. If it applies to anyone, then nobody don't have to do nothing. Forever hold their peace and just think about it. I have enough complaints to take over United States legally. And if they don't give me ownership, I'll tell you one thing. I guarantee you they're going to give me $100 billion or $1 billion just to shut me up. Just like they did another lady who said she had ownership of New York. And she was the last person left of her family. They just paid her $1 billion, $1 billion to shut her up. And she was already old, so she probably didn't really enjoy, but she lived real comfortable for her last years. She lived real comfortable. She was the owner of New York property. Her family history was ownership of New York, and she went to claim it. And I think it was that she owned the whole United States on that, I believe. I'm not sure, but I think it was specifically about New York, just like a girl in Michigan family owns over 50% of Michigan. But they over here chilling with the people next door and in my community doing this witchcraft stuff that people say is superstitious and it's a superstition. But they scared to claim their property, their inheritance, but they not afraid to do something illegal, but they call themselves proper person, they proper persons. Proper person, they proper persona. But they want to mess with witchcraft and harm people. Instead of help and assist, because they have the knowledge to do that, know how to write the complaints, know how to do this and that. But they going to scheme and connive and plan and orchestrate illegal activities towards another person that they could have helped or forever held their peace. And just say, oh, he's going to get caught. Exactly those people at my job said, oh, and he did it to himself. And look what happened to them. Now, people bragged about controlling people. We can make them do anything we want. And I believe I was being controlled when I woke up because I bust my head up on the pole one day. And I've been good ever since. It may be true or not be true, but like they have mediums, they call the police and say, hey, I seen a crime. Oh, we don't have nothing on the books, nobody missing a car. I'm telling you, they in the witty area, then through 2 days later, a week later, you get a phone call. Hey, the second lady just called her. Let's call her back. Maybe she has something to do with it. Then after that, some police officers continue to contact them. Some lightly, some maybe heavily contacted them on every case. We need to solve it. I remember back when I was a little boy, some kind of ethnic group came to Detroit, came to Michigan and said, hey, we would like to pray over your city and protect your city, your state. And all the officials and authority people said, no, we don't want that. We don't need that. Now I wonder, was that the witches that came when I was a little boy? It was all on the news. Oh, the such and such want to pay them such amount of money to pray over the city. They were like, no, we don't want that. But the main reason of this recording was that the 6th precinct officer that came and got me that one time in the paddy wagon out of maybe 4 or 5 illegal petitions that was created by my mother, but the origin was the police officer and everybody on the block. I already know my family dysfunctional. Took advantage of that. The girl next door kicked it with my sister. Yeah, he over there fussing with your mama now. Y'all need to call and see what's going on. You need to call the police. No telling what she said on her end. It's a lot to talk about. I'm gone. But like I said, the main reason for this recording was that the police didn't do nothing, didn't arrest that person, and I gave this a similar audio recording to the commander. You know what I'm saying? He flipped the script. I think you already had that recording where I said he flipped the script, and when I called the head detective, he said goodbye and hung up the phone. Maybe everybody was calling who I was sending complaints to. But no matter how mad upset he is, he's trained. He took psychology classes to overcome his emotional frustration. It's like we see police officers chasing somebody. When they get to the end of the chase, they beat him and be rough with him. Hey, he got his hands up. He laying on the ground. They kicking him. They hitting him. Getting a couple of good licks in because they had to chase him. They mad, they upset. They got pumped up, hyped up. And they kicking him, beating him. Hey, that guy stopped. He put his hands in the air. Or the guy lay on the ground. Or he just put his hands and they just hit him and knock him on the ground because they frustrated, they upset. Their adrenaline is pumping. And even if the person was wrong, that was unnecessary roughness. Just like in football and in sports, unnecessary roughness, penalty, 5-yard, 10-yard penalty, that's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit when a police officer or somebody do that. That was wrongdoing. They got compensation for wrongdoing. Like the other football team, unnecessary roughness, they got penalized 5 or 10 yards back in favor of the other team. Take them further away from the goal line, goal post. So you can put everything is a good example on everything, but it just depends on which one you pick. I'm not trying to coerce nobody. All I'm saying, I need to put this out there. So if I do anything, yes, and I'm what they call sugarcoating. No, it's not sugarcoat. What's the right word? Not excuses like everybody else doing, and they not a solution to the issue, but more problems for the issue. What's that word I'm trying to find where you alternative motives, not it. Have your cake, eat it too. No, that comes automatic when you do the right things.
Preferential treatment.
Rewards, the means justify the ends. I'm trying to think of the word when you try to. The right word is deceit, but it don't fit in this scenario I'm trying to put together. Deceit, alternative motives. When you do say things and do things that goes in your favor, I can't think of the word for it, but you can say that's what I'm doing. That's what I have to do. Everybody has to look out for themselves. But when you do it in the legal way, nothing nobody can say. But when you do it in the unlegal way, it's everything under the sun that can be thought of. can be said about it. But when you do it legally, it's nothing much because it's nothing but facts. And elected appointed officials and even citizens have, but especially elected appointed officials and governmental employees, they have to say everything based on facts, not opinion. Because if they do it on opinion, that's illegal. They have to do everything based on facts. And if you watch our city council, well, it's my opinion. Oh, they could have been brought up on charges and somebody want to make the charge. I'm like, look at this, look at this, look at this. He said the word opinion. In my opinion, he making an opinion. What he just said isn't based on facts. And I already let him know. But they can listen to all my recordings. They find something, I guarantee you, it's something in the paper or a recording or something I can say right there on the spot. Johnny on the spot and say, boom, blah, 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 blah. Why are you saying something to me anything? When you come against me, you might as well call yourself a lobbyist for the special interest people. If anybody has anything to say against me at this point in time, after over 5 years of corruptness, they have anything to say to me other than compensation, dollar amount, they are being a lobbyist. That is illegal. Even an attorney, if he come to court, say anything about me for the state, for the city, for another citizen, he's not an attorney, he's a lobbyist for the special interest people. Like my example, the bottom line. Trying to put up a smoke screen to expunge themselves of wrongdoing so they can do their wickedness of illegal activities and be accepted by their peers, elders, community, etc. Put up a smoke screen to expunge themselves of wrongdoing with deceit and alternative motives for favoritism, so the illegal activities they do will be accepted by the other people. I didn't say it right, but on paper I wrote it good. I wrote it to the best of my ability while I was writing, because when I'm writing, I just get in the zone. It's not like I planned it, I wrote it. It just came natural, like a water faucet. When you turn it on, it runs. That's how my paperwork is. Sometimes I write a paper in one day. I'll be up all night writing it. That was back in the beginning, so that's why you got all these misspelled words. I never did a spell check because I was working on a 20-year-old computer with no spell check. Oh, I'm gone.
So today's date and time is 8:45 p.m., June the 30th, 2015. I found this old audio recording in my archives, so I'm going to use it. But the word that I was looking for when I said preferential treatment, it's another word, but that's one good example word. But when I said Officer Matthew need to put a PPO on everybody, I meant to say he need to put a mental petition to get psychiatric evaluated from all those people, Judge Judy, et cetera, et cetera. He should put a petition to get psychiatric evaluated. I'm out.